Hey there viewers, and welcome back. Today I want to take a look at this Honda GXV-530. I think he's a 18 horsepower V-twin engine, very similar to the 630 GX, the horizontal version that we just got done doing in the prior video. So kind of the same theme with this engine. No spectacular unboxing, unfortunately, because you know, I've had it for a couple of years. It's an engine that's been discontinued, unfortunately, but it had its flaws, and when you look into that, you'll see why Honda discontinued it and went kind of a little more with the old tried and true series. But nonetheless, we got about 20 something of them, so it should make for a fairly fun teardown project. So the first thing I want to do with it, obviously, is photograph the living daylights out of it, and then when that is finished up, I want to get rid of all of this plastic shrouding so we can actually take a look at the motor. Let's make that happen.
You can call me stupid. You can call me sheep.
Okay, so thing number one is let's get rid of this air box. A little different air cleaner than the previous engine. So it's got the paper style, and then up inside of it, it has this little guy that obviously goes on the top, and then kind of a foam pre-cleaner that goes on top of that. All stuffs into the air box. Kind of nifty. Just take these guys and we'll set them inside air box. Once that air box is off, we're going to go ahead and extract out these 4 screws. So that is one thing different on this motor, is when you turn the crankshaft, the whole top little finger guard thingamadoo on the engine rotates as well. So that threw me for a little bit of a loop on the last motor, but shouldn't really be a big deal on this one. So let's see what we got under here. All right, now that that is out of the way, we got 4, actually 6. 2 up in the air box, 2 flange nuts back here, and then we have 2, kind of got a goofy shoulder on them, as I recall. It's been about 3 years since I've had this motor apart. So usually we don't have time for it, or we get tired and we do other things. Do keep in mind, in the air box, you have the washer that goes with the regular M6 style that we're used to on our GCV series engine. So you'll notice a ton of similarities on this engine compared to the other one. So like I said in that video, this one here is just a little bit more kind of a consumer-esque type of an engine. So should be able to just take that fan shroud off. Okay folks, the next thing that we're going to do is we're simply going to remove the magnetos. So I have labeled my magnetos on this side over here as Magneto 1 and Magneto 2. So until further ado, I'm going to call this guy Jug 2 and this guy Jug 1. So I think if we do this correctly, we should be able to remove the condenser, which is this little silver piece stuck to the intake manifold, and the whole wire harness is one complete unit. I did, for some strange reason, snake this behind the starter, so I'm going to have to fight with it a little bit. Yours may or may not be like that, but if it is, just deal with it. You'll be fine. Let's get these mags off. One thing that is noteworthy on this is you have these offsets only on this jug, so we have to make sure that we put the Magneto offset, with the correct mag. Just gonna pull our spark plug wires. Remember, we're grabbing them by the boot, not by the wire. Okay, so those are loose. Anything else? Okay, took that grommet off. That goes with the fan shroud. This guy's coming out. Just leave him for now. And there's those little spacers I was talking about. Kind of interesting they did that. But I believe both of these jugs are actually identical. So I think it was Honda's means of saving some money on parts, really. So the 630 was not like that. So you will notice this mag had the longer stud and the longer bolts that went with that. So that is special to that side. I'm going to leave the kill switch wire attached. Zip out. Oops. This guy here in the middle. Might just put that bolt back in a couple turns. Keeps things from getting lost. Get up behind this zip tie. Should be able to release it. It is one of those fancy Honda reusable zip ties. There we go. It's kind of hard to do that with you guys in the way, but so how it goes, I guess. So we're just going to slide this harness up a little bit. We're going to come in here and we should very carefully be able to pull these wires apart. So these are the gray ones are for the charging coil. And again, I don't like how I routed this. This should be probably on the outside of the starter. And they don't matter which way they go. And then the black with yellow or white tracer plugs into the same one down here. It's a yellow. So everything's color coded real nice, just for future FYI-ness. We'll also pull this terminal off the S of the starter, and that's going to let us pull this wire harness through. So we're just kind of fishing this out through round town from behind the starter. So I'm pretty sure that this actually ran underneath. I think I've said that like 9 times. Whatever, you can go ahead and very gently pull the charge coil set out of this set. We can pull the mags off at this time. Come on, little guy. Oh, don't forget your fuel cutoff down here. So the purpose of the fuel cutoff is when you don't idle the engine down and you shut it off at a high RPM, it stops fuel from flowing through the carburetor, so it doesn't just kind of sit there and chuggle and diesel on its own. Well, there you got it, folks. That is taking the top plastic, the photographing of all the goodies on the side, the wire harness, and the mags and the air box off your GXV-530. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.